No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Now, see that look in Mr. Pitt's eye? Like 19th century literature has nothing to do with going to business school or medical school, right? Maybe. Mr. Hopkins, you may agree with him, thinking, yes, we should simply study our Mr. Pritchard and learn our rhyme and meter and go quietly about the business of achieving other ambitions. I have a little secret for you. Huddle up. Huddle up! We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life?" Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?
Absolutely the right poetic form for our time.
I think it's the best free medicine in the world.
First film ever about English language haiku and the art of the short poem.
This is our time. It's a modern time. It's a time where the haiku will smell of gasoline sometimes, as opposed to flowers.
This haiku poetry, composed in only a short few lines, originated in Japan in the late 1600s and is still thriving in the English language today.
It's the ultimate short journal of your life.
What is haiku for? Haiku is for sharing.
It's just one of those things that if you really start writing it, it's kind of hard to stop it.
Maybe it's just a good drug that you get hooked on. Yeah, maybe that's it. A good drug without a hangover.
Family reunion. Again explaining what a haiku is.
Well, I hope what we're doing is we're coming together to celebrate haiku in a lot of different forms, a lot of different approaches.
I think that haiku appeals to a very general audience. Everybody is capable of writing haiku. I think it's universal.
Some people write 2-line haiku or 4-line haiku. Some people write socially conscious haiku. Some people write sex haiku. Some people have written whole haiku sequences about AIDS or other problems, things like that. Just about everything's been tried. So there's nothing much new under the sun, I'd say.
It can do a lot of things. It can absorb a lot of a lot of different content. It can be funny, it can be profane, it can be all kinds of things.
You can change your life. Just like everybody in the world wants to change their life, haiku can let you change your life. Doesn't have to. You can, haiku is what you bring to it, like anything else.
In effect, I wish a poem stopped war. I wish a poem stopped global warming, but it won't. But it does contribute to people changing their view of the world and seeing how they're connected to it, and that's what's important.
That I went into the A Street bookstore, and I went into the A Street bookstore, I looked up, and there was this flowered book up, and it had on it Japanese haiku. And I reached all the way up, and I opened that book, and I slid down on that floor there and found me. It is something to find yourself in a poem.
Red wins round. One hand clapping, two hands clapping. Red reads first.
Someone else couldn't sleep. The warm toilet seat.
Not red reads.
Clawhammer banjo. A veteran plants his cane to dance.
River baptism. For those of us not sure, the rain starts.
Things that go bump in the night. Your boat. Against a dead baby's body.
And the haiku makes us stay alive and breathe, because you do that one breath and you stay alive and breathe.
I can assure you I mean you no harm.
Who are you?
Who? Who is but the form following the function of what, and what I am is a man in a mask.
Oh, I can see that.
Of course you can. I'm not questioning your powers of observation. I'm merely remarking upon the paradox of asking a masked man who he is.
Oh, right.
But on this most auspicious of nights, permit me then, in lieu of the more commonplace sobriquet, to suggest the character of this dramatis persona. Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vichyssoise of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V.
Are you like a crazy person?
I'm quite sure they will say so. But to whom, might I ask, am I speaking?
I'm Evie.
Evie? Evie. Of course.
Sweet coffee, I adore thee. Adrenaline of my days, I hope the day will never come when you and I part ways. Without you I'd be useless, perpetually sedated. I can't imagine doing a thing if I were not caffeinated. Warm liquid of my better self, of my soul and heart, the bliss I know in a cup of joe, we will never part. I sip you while I'm driving, if I'm stopped or if I'm merging, the urge I have for you, sweet cup, is forever surging. Warmer than Bermuda, more soothing than the Cape. You're on the counter in my hand, you simply cannot escape. Before you, my mind is sleeping. I'm really catatonic. Daily you revive me, O caffeinated tonic. Sweeter than the autumn breeze coming from the west, of all the liquids known to man, I love thee the best. I will not drink a can of beer or a glass of wine. All I need is coffee. I am yours, and you are mine. I hope the day will never come when you and I part ways. Sweet coffee, I adore thee, adrenaline of my days. Carl Stevens, WBC News Radio, 1030.